What's up? Welcome back. And before we get into today's video, I want to address something. The price of beef jerky is just entirely too damn high. Now, let's go find out what happened to that transmission. So, we got it all pulled apart, and I took the pump apart. There's no scoring, no material, no metal. The gears look fine. I looked for cracks, couldn't find anything. Pulled the forwards apart, and it was perfect. I mean, it looked like brand new clutches and steels. But we have this. So, pulled apart what would be third gear clutches, and they're on in here somewhere. Anyways, we pulled it apart, and this is what we found for high gear. But the material's still there. Yeah, they are smoked, but it's not accounting for that much material. So I got on the phone with Brad and Jared, and we came up with something that I kind of overlooked. There's a rear band in here, which I have to pull all the valve body to get the planetary set out, or actually the center support. But I and they suspect that all this material is coming from that band. So I'm gonna cut this off, get this tore apart, and then we'll come back in just a second. So I finally got the ring out, and as a mental note to myself, we had the tapered side towards me. So when you're looking down in the case, it may be wrong, I don't know, that's just how it was pulled out. Center support, everything looks good. I pulled the sun shaft out. I call it sun shaft, it may be called something else. There's no issues with it. The bushings look good. I'm leading you up to something. So this is where that, I don't know if you can, I mean, obviously you can see it, but there is some major scoring. Obviously the middle is way lower than the edges. If I can feel it, that the middle's lower, then it's definitely lower. Now that bushing in there has seen better days. But as far as the gears, there's no hot spots, there's no issues that I can see. There may be something going on there, but tell me when you see it. Yes, you do see it. So I haven't pulled this out yet. That was just exactly how it was in there. Well, that ain't no good. Let's see if we get the rest of it out. May have to have two hands on this one. And I don't exactly know what that is called yet, so we gotta get to the old interwebs. See if I can find exactly what this is called. I don't know what causes that, but I need to get that band out of there. So I'm gonna lay the phone down for just a second, pull the band out, and then see what we got to work with. So we got that out. You know, the rest of the stuff looks good. No issues with that I can see. This is, I don't know if these are supposed to fall out so easily, but I did lose a few of them. Had to go searching for that right quick. We got this band out. I mean, it's obviously black. Now this was a stock one. This was not a Kevlar band or anything. This, I don't think that this was where everything came from, but it obviously was where most of it came from. Combination of that and the clutches that are laying over here buried somewhere under all these parts. My God, how do I lose everything? Regardless, I need to get all this cleaned out. I do have a few spare parts, enough that we could probably put this thing back together. But before I do that, I'm gonna let this video marinate. I'm gonna put this on Facebook and YouTube, of course. So for you guys out there that are watching this video, I really want you to comment So hopefully you can help me out before I put this thing back together. Obviously we know this wasn't good, but that wasn't, I wouldn't imagine what caused all this to happen. So let me explain what happened in the last race. So when we would click it in reverse, it had a very slow engagement, which could very well be some of this band. And then in the very last pass, when I let go of the trans brake button, it was it felt like it was in neutral. The thing on the data log, I think we reached 7 miles an hour, 8,500, 8,400 RPM, front and rear wheel speed. The truck wasn't spinning, and which is weird because the first gear clutches look perfect. So was it the band that caused this issue? Obviously this wasn't helping the fact, but I can't imagine that was an issue that caused the neutral effect of first gear. I do have a dump valve, and it was suspected that maybe the dump valve was hung open, but that really wouldn't matter, because even if the dump valve was open, there's cars that drag the dump valve out for, all of first gear and can still do 120 and 110 60 foots. So I wouldn't imagine that even if the dump valve stuck open, that would be an issue. The pump looks great, and if the pump failed, I wouldn't have had second gear, which I did, and the second gear clutches look fine. So help me out, guys. See if we can't figure out what's going on. What do I need to do? What do I need to improve and fix before this goes back together? And I can assure you that this trans will be back together very soon. So tag your buddies. I know somebody out there has got some information that I need to know, and we'll see if we can't get this thing back together, because there's a race coming up at the end of this month that Happy is putting together. I believe there's some more people. A guy named Robert was involved with it as well, and I don't want to miss it, and I don't want you guys to miss it. And like I said, there's a race coming up at the end of this month I want to go to. It is probably going to be the last race of the year for me, but that doesn't mean that that's the end of the content. We have a lot of stuff in store for this truck. Through the winter time, we got a lot of testing on stuff we want to do. There's going to be a whole lot of dyno time, and a lot of guys, they spend winter upgrading stuff. I upgrade throughout the race season. Not saying that I won't continue to upgrade, but the testing we want to do is different turbos, different piping sizes and stuff like that. So if that's the content you want to continue to see, continue to watch this channel. And if you haven't noticed it yet, we did put some doors on here. I don't know what brand they are. I got them off a guy up in Indiana. Now I did weigh these gutted doors. See here, this is the driver door here. It was 44 pounds. That one was 48 pounds, or 48 and a half. And the new doors were 22. So there was a little bit of weight savings, but not like some drastic amount that everybody thinks. We are going to try to do a little more to get some weight out of this truck. So the next video, I will go into more detail on that. But for right now, I need to work on this transmission, figure out what we need to do to get it to survive, because I can't keep doing this every weekend, pulling this transmission apart. So like I said, like this video, share this video if you haven't already, subscribed to this channel, and we're going to try to get this thing back together. So help me out. Thank you guys.